Hi, I'm Jen, and this is a little bit of everything. Tonight we are going to be making my onion meatloaf. Let's get started. First of all, the secret ingredient in this is something you can get at any grocery store. Funyuns. Now we're going to get to the anger management portion of our video. You're going to take your fun-sized bag of Funyuns and you're going to beat them to death until they're powder. Try to use light taps or else your bag will explode and make a disaster in your kitchen. You feel there's still too many chunks? Go in and do it by hand. You want it to be Funyun powder. We're going to pop it open and see what we got and see if we have to keep going. Now, chunks this size are just way, way too big. So we're going to go ahead and leave it in the bag. We're going to twist the top closed, put it back on the counter, and we're going to beat it some more. I think we might be good now. We are good now. A couple of little chunks are wonderful. They'll absorb the flavor. Now, in my metal mixing bowl, I have 2.5 pounds of 80/20 ground beef. To that, we are going to add our crushed Funyuns, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. We are going to salt and pepper to taste. I use roughly a teaspoon or 2. We're going to go with 2 today. We are also going to use about the same amount of pepper. 1 and 2. We're going to add a couple good jags of Worcestershire sauce. 1, 2, 3. And 1 egg. The egg is in there to hold it all together and make it one cohesive piece. Now, you can either do this with spoons, mixing, or I use my hands. It's the easiest way to tell if you have the right texture of your meatloaf. You want to mix it around until all of the ingredients are equally incorporated into your meatloaf. Now, if you find your meatloaf is still a little too wet, you can always add another little bit of breadcrumbs. I do that by the handful so you don't come out with meatloaf that is too dry. Now, we are just about ready to preheat our oven and transfer our meatloaf into our meatloaf pan. So we are going to set our oven, preheat it for 350 degrees and put it on bake. I'm going to wash my hands and I'll be right back with you and we'll put this meatloaf in the pan. Welcome back. Now we're ready to transfer our meatloaf into our meatloaf pan. I wanted to show you my meatloaf pan because it will make your meatloaf life a lot easier. Nobody likes to drain the grease off their meatloaf. I sure as heck don't. It gets everywhere. So Wilson offers a double-layered pan. The top layer has all these fun little handy-dandy holes in it, and the bottom layer is solid. If you put your meatloaf in this top layer, it will automatically drain off the extra grease. Now, we're going to take our meatloaf, and we're going to shape it into a fun little loaf shape, trying to make sure that it's not cracking or falling apart. It goes right into the pan. Press it out so it fills the pan. Don't be afraid, it won't go through the holes. I was at first myself. Once your meatloaf fills that pan beautifully, we are going to transfer that to our 350-degree oven, and it is going to bake for about 45 minutes. And we will get right back to you when we're ready to sauce it and pull it out of the oven. Welcome back. It's been about 45 minutes. We're going to pull our meatloaf out of our oven and see right where we're at. We look like we're just about good and done. So I'm going to take a fork. I'm actually going to push down on this meatloaf and see where we're at. It's firm and springy. We are ready to sauce this. I'm going to sauce the top of this with barbecue sauce. Use whichever one is your family favorite. Now, you want enough to coat the top. Now we're going to go ahead and take our fork and we're going to spread that around so that it covers the whole top of our meatloaf. You don't want super thick, but you also don't want super thin. We've got the top of this meatloaf nice and coated. We're going to put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes or until this sauce thickens up into a nice glaze. Back in the oven we go. We'll be back in 10 minutes when that sauce is nice and thick and ready to go. Welcome back. It's been 10 more minutes and we are now ready to pull this meatloaf out of the oven. As you can see, the sauce, barbecue sauce, has now become a beautiful glaze on that. We're going to go ahead and cut it a slice off of this so you can see what it looks like when it's done. If you see how well it holds together, and that there is an end piece, the most coveted piece of meatloaf in my whole family. Our meatloaf is done and sliced. Let's try bite. I get to sneak the end piece. My family's gonna murder me. Ooh, hot. Hot. Perfect. This has been a little bit of everything, making meatloaf. Thank you. Tune in for my next video. Have a great day.